World War II was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It was the deadliest and most widespread war in history, with an estimated 50 million to 85 million fatalities from various causes, including military engagements, genocide, and disease. The war began on September 1, 1939, when Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, invaded Poland. This prompted the United Kingdom and France to declare war on Germany, and soon the conflict spread to other parts of the world. The major players in the war were the Axis powers, led by Germany, Japan, and Italy, and the Allied powers, led by the United States, United Kingdom, Soviet Union, and China. The Axis powers sought to expand their empires and establish a new world order, while the Allied powers aimed to defend their interests and promote democracy. The Axis powers initially enjoyed a string of military successes, quickly conquering most of Europe and Asia, but eventually the tide of the war began to turn against them. In 1941, the United States entered the war after Japan's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. The Soviet Union, which had been invaded by Germany, also began to push back the Axis powers. In 1942, the Allies launched a counteroffensive in North Africa and Europe, which marked a turning point in the war. One of the most significant events of the war was the Normandy invasion, also known as D-Day, which occurred on June 6, 1944. This operation was a major Allied invasion of Europe, led by the US, UK, and Canada, and it allowed the Allies to gain a foothold on the continent and begin pushing the German army back. The Soviet Union also made significant gains in the East, eventually liberating much of Eastern Europe and entering Germany. On May 8, 1945, Germany surrendered, effectively ending the war in Europe. However, the war in the Pacific continued, as the United States and its allies continued to fight against Japan. In August of that year, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing over 200,000 civilians and forcing Japan to surrender on August 15, 1945. In short, World War II was a global conflict that lasted for 6 years and was fought between the Axis powers, led by Germany, Japan, and Italy, and the Allied powers, led by the United States, United Kingdom, Soviet Union, and China. The war resulted in the defeat of the Axis powers, the collapse of the Nazi regime, and the beginning of the Cold War. The war had a profound impact on the world, shaping the political and social landscape for decades to come.